So, because people often wonder about the way I train or how Eric trains, I thought I'd go over basically everything with it to demystify it a little bit. We get a lot of shit for how we train because we don't do standard lifts necessarily, what people call standard, as in the squat, bench, and deadlift. And I get that. A lot of people want to compare their strength to ours, but to them I say, do what we do. You can take one day off your squat, bench, and deadlift training to do a Jefferson. It's not going to kill you. So yeah, I thought I'd just go over it real quick. So I'll start with what a typical day might look like for me. So I get to the gym, pound some coffee, pound some more coffee. 20, 30 minutes later, good to go. So I usually start with, for most lifts, 135. I don't really give a shit about doing dynamic warm-ups. My warm-up is the lift. So I usually we'll take behind the back deadlift, for example. I'll do 135, do like 5 to 10 reps, get a little warm, put another 45 on, do 5 reps, put another 45 on, do 5 reps, put a 25 on each side, do 2 or 3 reps, put another, take that off, put a 45 on, do another rep, put some more weight on, do a rep, put some more weight on, do a rep, until I get to that maximum weight. So we'll say 515. I get to that, and then that should be an all-out effort, 100%, can't do any more weight, hit it, done, go home. That's it. There's no accessories. People think we lie about it's like secret accessories we do. There are none. Just go home. I've done accessories in the past. That's not to say I've done pull-ups and stuff at the end, but when I have, it's been very low-key. It's been, a set of 50 tricep push-downs with a band, or 20 total pull-ups one at a time trying to be explosive, or some partial pull-ups. It's nothing like any set rep scheme or anything. It's just more for fun, because I like spending time in the gym, and that prolongs the time I can spend in the gym. So the way I personally, and Eric is similar, pick my exercises, is that number one, it has to feel athletic. What I mean by that, it has to feel like something that would carry over to a sport. This is why a standard deadlift doesn't feel athletic. You're never ever in that position in a sport. You're never loaded in that way in a sport. So I prefer single leg things a lot. Single leg things are awesome for me. Things where I can cheat the movements of rows, for example. It feels athletic. If I was in a football game and you pull a guy towards me, I wouldn't just like strict arms pull him. I'd yank the fuck out of the guy with my entire body. So again, feeling athletic, it should involve as many muscles as possible for that. Yeah. It has to allow for intensity. That's number 2. Certain lifts just aren't intense, and I don't mean from a biological standpoint. I mean from a mental standpoint. A 1 rep max bicep curl, no matter how heavy it is very intense. You can't just scream. It's not, can't be intense with less than 200 pounds of anything. It's got to be kind of intense. And last but not least, it has to be fun. It's pretty simple. A deadlift is not fun. Again, it's not a bad lift. It's just not fun. It doesn't feel athletic. And for me, it's hard to be intense about it because I don't like it. So, where the fuck am I? I don't even know. I wrote some shit down so I could be smart and sound smart, but here we are. So back to the athletic thing. That's probably the most important thing for me. Single leg stuff, unilateral stuff feels athletic, because in sports like the Jefferson, it's perfect. That's the start. That's most sports. That's the exact position you're in. If you're gonna push someone, or you're gonna throw someone, or whatever. That's probably the reason I don't like bench press or seal rows. Those are supremely unathletic. Laying on your back is not an athletic position to be in, or the reverse of that being on your stomach. It's not athletic at all. It doesn't feel athletic. And same thing with cheat reps. That feels a very strict bent over row. Doesn't feel very athletic. Hiking that shit up, pulling hundreds of more pounds feels much more athletic, more full body. You're like, oh, you're not isolating the right muscles, but it shouldn't be an isolation movement. I don't want it to be an isolation movement. If I did, I would do it strict. So I've been calling this Wisconsin method, by the way. It used to be called Bulgarian light, but it wasn't really appropriate. It's not really what we do. It's a little bit of a variation on it. So Eric and I are both from Wisconsin. Seemed appropriate. Sounds kind of cool. So the way it works is you max out every day. One lift. For the most part, it's a 1 rep max. I'll get into different rep schemes, but mostly 1 rep max, done. No drop down sets, no nothing. You just hit that top set and you're done. The next day you go back, do the exact same lift. You try to add some weight. I usually add 10 to 20 pounds, depends on the lift. If it's a bigger lift, you usually add more weight. If it's a smaller lift, like a JM press, like I've been doing, it's less weight. Probably gonna be adding. So it just depends what lift you're doing, how much weight you add, but it should be more. And then again, hit that 1 rep max, you're done. Next day, same thing, add more weight, done. Next day, more weight, next day, more weight. And you go like this until that stops working, until you stall and you can no longer add weight. Simple as that. Once you can't add weight, you switch lifts. Sometimes the exercise selection has a purpose to it, sometimes it's random. When I was gearing up for behind the back deadlifts, aka hack squats, or hack deadlifts, I did a bunch of quad stuff because I knew it's a quad dominant lift. So I was doing sissy squats. I got those up to 405. I was doing Norwegian squats. I don't remember what I got after that, but stuff that I knew would carry over, and then that all led up to my behind the back deadlifts. Some other times I just pick random. I go from right now JM press to Jefferson to who knows, leg curls. I don't know. So, like I said, sometimes it has purpose, the order we're doing stuff, or I'm doing stuff, I should say. Sometimes it's just random, whatever I feel is like fun. So, here I go again, I can't fucking read and hold my place. Some of the lifts I prefer to do, some of my favorite ones that work well with the style, because not all lifts work with the style, that's a truth with it. Jefferson lift works awesome. Obviously, Eric is 800 pounds, I think 805 or something, with this method. Bugenhagen squat, named after him, is the lunge with the bar between your legs, aka Jefferson Bulgarian split squat. That's a dumb Bugenhagen squat. I got to 405 with that. On the method, I think I started at like 305. So I put 100 pounds on in a few weeks on that lift. And I got 405 both legs too, so wasn't just on one side. Croc rows work awesome. I did 267 for I think 50 reps or 30 reps, something like that. I think I got up to 340. I don't know. I don't remember the stuff. It's all on my channel. You can look at it. For 5, I think it's like 340 pounds for 5 or 335 or something. Landmine rows work awesome, especially supinated ones. You should really try the supinated Meadows row. It's fucking awesome. It's way better than normal Meadows row in my opinion. The angle with your body in relation to the bar is way better. It feels more natural. Your legs don't get in the way. Yates rows, any kind of row really works. Lunges, any kind of single leg stuff. Hex bar deadlifts, anything with any kind of deadlift variation with the weights directly under you, which is part of the reason like Jefferson's work, hex bars work. Hack deadlift's technically behind you, but it's under your hips at least. And it works for overhead presses also. Usually stall quicker and you make smaller jumps, but it does work. It works for dips. It works for. It does work for bench. Word of caution: it's pretty rough on the shoulders, so decline works better. Scrape the rack type benches like decline, scrape the rack works way better. Save your shoulders. But again, it doesn't work for regular flat bench. So with the rep scheme, going back to sometimes how it's not a 1 rep max. The times it's not a 1 rep max are usually rowing type movements, for me at least, rows, and then more isolation type movements. So the sissy squat, for example, which is for the most part quads, those I like to do a little bit higher reps, usually 3 to 8, somewhere in between there. sometimes I feel, and then the next day I'll do the same. I'll try to hit the same amount of reps, just heavier. So if I did, let's say, pen lay rows with 315 pounds for 5, the next day I'll try to, do 335 for 5, and the next day 355 for 5, or whatever. Just try to keep the reps similar at least, because doing a 1 rep max row doesn't really work. Certain movements doesn't work. In the sissy squats, like you could, but you're not going to get anything out of it with those type of movements. Same thing with drop down sets. Usually things again that are more isolation or less full body stuff. I do a drop down set for sometimes, but not always. The jam press, I've been doing those with pen lay rows. I did them because they were kind of strict. With the Yates rows, I did not because that's a very full body. It's heavy as fuck, so there's no point doing a drop down set. But yeah, so for the most part, 1 rep max, probably 90% of the lifts. More isolation movements, ones that are less full body, 3 to 8 somewhere. And then fucking around every once in a while, we'll do like, crazy 50 rep set with croc rows or something. And that's more for fun and to just, get some kind of intensity in. The thing a lot of people worry about is recovery. People think, you're gonna snap your shit up. Snap city, bro. And the truth is, the volume is so low, you, for the most part, recover just fine. If you do like a 50 rep set, you're not going to feel very good the next day. If you just hit like a 1 rep max, you'll be fine. Even if you're a little bit sore the next day, you're still going to be stronger. Your body adapts very quickly. I always say it's like if anyone's worked a service job, like been a waiter or waitress, worked at ooh, that fucking catch. Oh shit, those reflexes. If I worked in the service and shit, Jesus Christ, this is why I shouldn't. Damn it. Come on. Yeah, I'll just hold it. We're in the service industry, you've been standing on your feet, you're not used to it. The first couple days it hurts, your feet feel terrible, everything feels terrible. But then your body adapts and you're fine. You can stand all day long and have no issues whatsoever. So it's the same thing. First couple days you might feel like shit, you'll be fine. Just push through it. Also with, it's all fucked up, this thing fell down. I'm not sure over here. Hold on, I got this. You can do this, guys. Oh, there we go. Don't fall. Again, with recovery, you got to eat. If you're gonna lift like we do, you got to eat. You got to fill these things out. The other thing a lot of people worry about is losing, muscle mass elsewhere. They're all if I ever press, my chest will go away, and you might not have the best developed chest in the world. I don't. It's not bad. It's not bad, but if you're not going to work, obviously not going to grow. But I haven't, since I started the Wisconsin method, I haven't lost any muscle mass. I've gotten much bigger actually. I think when I very first started training Wisconsin method, I was at 215, and now I have between like 227, 232 most days, and I'm probably a little bit leaner than I was when I was 215. I've put on quite a bit of mass, and it's been over a period of time, and a lot of it's my legs. That's why I love to work most. But I haven't lost any size anywhere. My chest hasn't shrunk. I haven't used it at all really, but it hasn't shrunk at all. I don't know why that is. I don't know what the biological reason is. You have to find some, do the PhD that'll tell you that. But yeah, never lost any mass. As long as you're eating and lifting heavy and being intense, you're good. The last thing is music. Listen to metal. Hey, oh shit, we're good. Listen to metal. It'll get you hyped. Find songs that, god damn it, this is low production values. This is what happens. Find music that hits you in your heart, gets your blood pumping, brings the intensity up. That's why I love the Rolling Stones, but it's not gonna, make me want to lift heavy. So yeah, just some quick little tips and explanation about the Wisconsin method. It's not complicated. People tend to think it is. Just max out, go home. Max out, go home. Max out, go home. That's all it is. You'll be fine. I've never had an injury in the gym. Eric hasn't either. We'll train Bulgarian method at least. I did when I in the gym. I have a nice scar across my forehead or top of my head from fucking around hitting on a pole, but that's different from the actual lifting. Never had an issue. If anything, everything feels better on me. My back feels amazing all the time. Never had back pains. So yeah. So give it a shot. You're not gonna die. You know, pick a lift you're confident with. If you're gonna start it, start with a lift you're already a little bit confident. I can't talk. Confident in, and then branch out from there. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them. I hope I explained it halfway decent. I didn't really plan on doing this video or anything. I just kind of I have an hour free at work right now, so I thought I'd fuck around here in the basement and talk shit. So thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, again, questions, let me know. I'll try and answer them. See ya.